What's up, tribe? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. So listen, you guys, we're going to talk a little bit this morning about Kevin Hart getting sued. Okay. Kevin Hart, we talked a little bit about this case a couple of months ago when the whole Kevin Hart suing Tasha K and his ex-assistant when she did the interview and he's saying she violated the NDA and all of those things. We sort of touched on this. And I think the question was asked then, like, well, why, what's going on with the case, with this situation? So we're going to get into it. So Kevin Hart is being sued by his former best friend, comedian JT Jackson. I think a lot of people don't realize that JT Jackson was a comedian, had his own career. And we're going to get Pam actually is going to go through the actual lawsuit. We're just going to talk about the things of the things of the things. So if you're not subscribed to Pam Esquire, y'all make sure y'all get over there because at some point, probably later on today, she has the actual lawsuit. She's going to get into the nitty gritty of it. But let's get a little bit into what is going on with this. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. So come on in. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. I appreciate it. It is much appreciated if you would hit the like button. I appreciate that much. And then we're about to get into it. So back in like 2016, 2017, we know that there was this sex tape with Kevin Hart and a woman. Now she ended up suing Kevin Hart too because she said that she didn't know there was cameras. And again, child, we ain't gonna go through every lawsuit around this situation. We're just gonna focus on this. But I want you guys to just refresh your memory. I want y'all to hear. We're gonna go through a few things. The first thing I want you to do is this was Kevin Hart's apology video that he gave. And when he first came out with this video, I want y'all to hear what he said.
I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I have a target on my back. And because of that, I should make smart decisions. And recently I didn't. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form. And I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And in doing that, I know that I'm going to hurt the people closest to me, who I've talked to and apologized to, being my wife and my kids. And I just, it's a shitty moment. It's a shitty moment when you know you're wrong, and there's no excuses for your wrong behavior. At the end of the day, man, I just simply got to do better. But I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
So Kevin Hart in that video, number one, he's apologizing to his fiance or wife. I'm sorry, they were married at the time, who was actually pregnant at the time that this tape was exposed. And he said he apologized to his kids. But then he went on to say, but I'm not going to allow myself to be extorted. I'm not going to allow myself to be, and try to take advantage of. I'd rather confess than be held over a barrel. Now that's what Kevin Hart had said. Okay. Now, because before we get to the article, we're gonna read a little bit of something. So here is JT Jackson speaking on, because Kevin Hart said he was the one that did it. He went to the police. He filed charges. He actually went through an actual legal. He pursued legal charges against JT Jackson. JT Jackson was arrested. He was charged, but eventually the charges were dropped. So I want y'all to hear what JT Jackson had to say when he is speaking on what happened to him.
Boy for 15 years. You don't want to sit down? That I did something to you, and we're like this. And these accusations that they're accusing me, your boy, for 15 years. You don't want to sit down and talk to me, brother?
So as we move along, years go by, and then 2017,
Yeah.
the public finds out that a sex tape has leaked. And then at this time, Kevin jumps on social media to confront whatever he felt was happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with you in this moment as his friend when you see this playing out?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed. Still am. I'm gonna be dead ass. Still am disappointed in him. You know, him and I, we've been friends, you know, since that happened, like a good 15 years strong. Like homie, you know my character. You're not gonna hang around somebody that for that long and invite them into your personal space, you know, not just, you know, like whatever happened that weekend where we all had a good time, we all went out, he invited us all out, but he invited me, my wife, to his home. He took us to Mexico. We had, you know, like that was the type of, that's how he looked at us, you know, and like I was just disappointed in, he just immediately, boom, sends out that tweet. Wow. Whatever else said, you know.
Got you.
Yeah, and I was just disappointed.
So the tweet, I'm gonna read the tweet because I'm playing a video, but I'm not gonna play it on the screen. So the tweet says, this is from Kevin Hart. This is from 2018. And the tweet says, Lord, now I gotta read through the thing, champ. The tweet says, mind blown, hurt, at a loss for words, and simply in complete disbelief at the moment. Wow. So that was the tweet that he's speaking of. He said Kevin Hart sent that out.
And he just immediately, boom, sends out that tweet. Wow. Whatever else said, you know.
Got you.
Yeah, and I just sat there and I was just like, really? You know what I mean? Like just like that, 15 years. You don't want to wait for the facts. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to.
So there was no call to you?
No. And that was another thing. If you thought that I did something to you, and we're like this, and these accusations that they're accusing me, your boy, for 15 years, you don't want to sit down and talk to me, brother? You don't want to look me in my eye and be like, you know, like he never ever sat down and called me on the phone to say, yo, we need to talk. You know, and I just found that odd. You know, that's 15 years, brother. Come sit down with me. Talk to me. I wanted to talk to him. Like, yo, hey, you know, that none of that never happened. Till this day, none of that never happened. Wow. Yeah. So again, I know he has his reasons. He got his team, you know, they telling him, you know, he's a mega star. You know, he can't get caught up into words and then now he may be liable for saying something and vice versa, you know, of us having a conversation that he may not want to have, you know. Right. So, but yeah, man, I was pissed, man. I'm gonna be dead ass. I'm still am, you know, I'm still am pissed, you know, about that.
And I think, you know, the reason why we wanted to speak with you is because from our perspective, you know, we got to see your name thrown out there in headlines. Mm-hmm. Judas, like Judas in the Bible, betrayed a friend.
Oh yeah.
Donkey of the day, like a lot of stuff has been said against
the disrespect. Yeah,
and we'll get into that. And then as your team pushes forward with the case, you start seeing these other headlines very quietly. Mm-hmm. Charges drop.
Yeah, very quietly.
And that was quietly. So for us, it made me feel like, okay, there's still some missing parts in this.
So that's just a little bit of what he had to say, JT Jackson, about, he said he never heard from Kevin Hart. Like, this came out of nowhere. He was charged. Like I said, he was arrested. He was charged. He had to get a lawyer. You know, of course he gets blacklisted, blackballed, whatever you want to call it, in the industry. And like they said, he got donkey of the day and all of these things. And then the charges get dropped. So fast forward to where we are today. We found out yesterday that, mind you, I found out first from Pam Esquire before the blogs even got it. Pam put it on her community wall, that Kevin Hart is being sued by JT Jackson. So, like I said, I'll post it on my community wall when Pam goes live later on to go through the actual lawsuit so we can get all of the breakdown of it. But let's read through what is being reported. I just wanted to bring y'all a little quick drop, a little quick drop. But let's read through what's being reported. So we're going to read out of the Los Angeles Times. Okay? And this is from yesterday. Kevin Hart sued by an ex-friend for allegedly botching a deal to clear his name. Kevin Hart is being sued for allegedly botching a settlement agreement that was meant to clear the name of former friend Jonathan JT Jackson, as it related to the events surrounding the comics sex tape cheating scandal. In a lawsuit filed Wednesday in Los Angeles County Superior Court, Jackson accused the actor of not using the meticulously negotiated and agreed upon wording from their 2021 settlement, which he addressed the scandal in an Instagram post that same year, resulting in a $12 million breach of written contract. The civil lawsuit, which lists Kevin Hart, Heartbeat LLC, and several other defendants, also accuses them of fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, I tried to find, and if y'all find it, send it to me real quick. I was trying to find when Kevin Hart did this quote unquote apology, because there was he did address it. I think he addressed it in the I think an interview or so, a show he did on Netflix or something like that, where he addressed it. But he was his words were very open-ended. His language was not very specific. Like, if you didn't know what he was talking about, you wouldn't have known what he was talking about. And that is where he was actually supposed to be apologizing to JT Jackson, and he was supposed to be very specific. So that's what they're saying. Yeah, he did sound like Denzel. He did. The 23-page complaint obtained Wednesday by the Times said that Hart was contractually obligated by their July 2021 settlement to use specific verbiage that would publicly exonerate the professional child. Why they got this man whole resume? It's a Navy veteran, professional bowler, and actor. Who knew he was a professional bowler? Who was entangled in legal issues in the wake of the scandal. The wording of Hart's statement, which was meticulously negotiated and detailed in the contract, was absolutely crucial to repairing and remedying the severe damage inflicted upon plaintiff's reputation by the baseless extortion allegations that Hart aggressively promoted and publicized. Jackson was the target of a January 2018 raid at his home, in which he and his wife were held at gunpoint by investigators with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, who were looking into allegations of extortion, which he believes Hart initiated. The charges were eventually dropped by prosecutors, who Jackson is also suing, but Jackson claimed that his reputation was unjustly tarnished due to a series of malicious actions by the defendants, including when Hart and Heartbeat released the 2019 Netflix docuseries Don't F This Up. Okay, so I was right. It was in that Netflix docuseries Don't F This Up where he allegedly gave this apology. And again, I remember seeing it. What was the court again? Hold on, Tracy. Hold on. Los Angeles County District. Hold on. Los Angeles County Superior Court. Los Angeles County Superior Court. That's where it was filed. The docuseries mentioned extortion and alleged that Jackson had been involved in the creation and dissemination of a sex tape that showed Hart and a woman who was not his wife getting intimate at a Las Vegas hotel room. Both Jackson and Hart were also sued for $60 million by the model, the woman who was purportedly appeared with Hart in the tape, but the lawsuit was ultimately dismissed and Jackson was cleared of all allegations. According to the new lawsuit, Jackson did not receive any money from his settlement agreement with Hart, as he believed their contract was not about seeking compensation, but was a means to an end that would clear his name. Hart's public statement, which was to include agreed upon language, was crucial for that exoneration, the complaint said. Jackson entered into the contract with the expectation that it would finally restore his reputation and would allow him to resume his professional life with integrity. Jackson alleged that Hart explicitly agreed to their written statement, to the written settlement, to pursue and advocate for the dismissal of all criminal charges against Jackson and to make a public statement exonerating him. Hart said was required to say the criminal charges against Jackson had been dismissed, that Jackson had been fully cleared of any involvement in the extortion plot, and that the legal debacle had cost Hart a valuable friendship. The complaint further said that Hart was supposed to say he had lost someone close to me that I love and still have very much love for, or how love was. How you gonna make that man say he still love you though? Now, JT, now I'm with you with the public apology and all of that, but how you gonna make that man say he still love you? You can't make that man say he still love you if he don't love you. But if he agreed to do it, child, I guess he agreed to do it. I'm sorry. Lost someone close to me that I loved and still have very much love for, or high levels of love for. And I'm proud to say that all charges against JT Jackson have been dropped, and he is not guilty and had nothing to do with this matter at hand that once was so tough to deal with and so heavy for me and my household is now put to bed. That is what that man was supposed to say. That is not what Kevin Hart said. Kevin about to pay and I feel no ways. I know that's right. Fine, I'll say it. I like that name. Fine, I'll say it. The complaint further said that Hart was supposed to say that he had lost someone close to him. Oh, I just read that. I'm sorry. I just read that paragraph. Instead, in Hart's 2017 Instagram video blatantly broke their agreement and manipulated the narrative. The complaint said Hart ultimately said that JT Jackson had recently been found not guilty and those charges have been dropped. First of all, that's two different things. If the charges are dropped, you're not found not guilty, but okay. I am going to play y'all that. I did find that video. I just didn't find the Netflix clip, but I found that video. I'm going to play that in a second. The comedian also said their friendship was lost due to the legal process and noted his relief about the legal saga being over. He did not mention that Jackson had nothing to do with it. I'm gonna let y'all hear it now. Let me let y'all hear what Kevin Hart actually said. Now, y'all heard what he was supposed to say. Now let's listen to what he said, child. He didn't say nothing like he didn't say nothing like what that man said he was supposed to say. He said nothing like it. All right. So this is a video of Kevin Hart in his car, driving down the street, and this is what he said.
I'm not proud of the down. Look, there's no.
All right.
All right,
Oh,
Mr.
man.
JT
Lord.
Jackson.
Yes.
Welcome to your
Me and my
personal
fingers.
world.
Okay, here we go.
Look, it's no secret that my life has had its share of ups and downs. It definitely has. Not proud of the downs at all, but of course that's life. Things happen. It's our job to adjust when they do. One of those things that I had to adjust from was a situation that involved a friend, Jonathan JT Jackson, where he was charged in a case. And JT Jackson has recently been found not guilty, and those charges have been dropped against him. And I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. I couldn't do it because of the legal process. You know, they kind of put a fork in the road between he and I, and that relationship was lost. But I'm glad that now not only can I finally speak on it, but I can say I'm happy that that chapter in my life is over. I'm happy that we're able to put a period on that sentence, and I'm excited to get back to life as we once knew it. I want to get back to life as I once knew it and put that behind me and move on. This message is about moving on. It's over. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over. Live, love, and laugh. It's that simple.
Now that okay. Dale had nothing to do with what he was supposed to say. That man was supposed to say that Jonathan Jackson didn't have nothing to do with it, that he still loved him or has love for him. He's sorry that their friendship was broken. Like, that is not what that man just said. No, Xavier, the Netflix was a docuseries. It wasn't a comedy special. It was like a docuseries with Kevin Hart, with interviews and stuff like that. It wasn't a comedy special. So, well, he's done comedy specials, but that we're talking about, it was not a comedy special. So let me finish the article. We're almost done, but I just want y'all to hear what he actually said versus what the contract said he was supposed to say. Now, JT Jackson say he has a contract where the language was very specific and very much written out. And that is not what Kevin Hart just said. Hart's statement deviates significantly from the agreed upon verbiage in several crucial aspects. First, Hart's stipulated verbiage explicitly required him to state that all charges against Jackson have been dropped and that he is not guilty and had nothing to do with it. However, Hart's actual statement lacks the declaration of the plaintiff's innocence or his non-involvement. Also, Hart's agreed upon statement was to acknowledge the incident's heavy impact on the loss of a valuable friendship due to the legal matter. But Hart's actual statement entirely focuses on Hart himself moving on and does not directly acknowledge the significant personal and professional toll on the plaintiffs as outlined in the contract. In addition to $12 million that Jackson is seeking in punitive damages to be determined at trial, legal costs and fees and injunctions requiring the defendants to exonerate him, as well as the removal of all false statements about him in the Don't F This Up documentary. That's the Netflix special. In a statement to the Times, JT Jackson's attorney said the facts in the complaint speak for themselves. We are confident that the lawsuit will end with Mr. Jackson's complete victory and vindication. A spokesperson for Hart was not available at the time of this article. Y'all, let me say this. I honestly do not recall how the tape got out. I don't know who put that tape out. I don't remember. I believe that his ex-assistant in her interview with Tasha K did speak on that, which is part of the reason why I think Kevin Hart is upset with her too, because she did speak on some things that he said that she was not supposed to speak on because it violated the NDA. So I honestly don't know to the full extent of what was said or what wasn't said. And I still don't know who put this tape out. But somehow or another, the police got JT Jackson's name. Now, where did they get in that audio? Kevin Hart alludes to the fact that someone is trying to blackmail him, which means that someone got in touch with him either directly or indirectly and said, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to put this tape out. And what he said was, I'd rather put out my own business rather than pay somebody and be held hostage. That's what I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. So somehow the police got JT Jackson's name. Somehow the police felt like they had enough evidence to go and arrest this man. Ultimately, the charges were dropped. But what JT Jackson is saying is, Kevin Hart knew I didn't have anything to do with that situation. And he was lying, trying to dip and dodge his own situation. I'm looking forward to hearing what is exactly spelled out in the lawsuit. Because if this is true, and of course we only have one side of the story, you guys. If this is true, Kevin Hart owed that man some money. Because again, this man's career was ruined behind this. He was an actor. Now, I ain't saying he was no Oscar-winning actor, but he was working. He was a working actor, and he said he was blacklisted. Like nobody would work with him. He couldn't work on top of legal fees. So if Kevin would have said those exact words, that would not guarantee that man's career to get back on track. Kevin said the man was cleared of all charges. That's not what Kevin said, Powerful. Kevin did not say that. Kevin said he was found not guilty and the charges were dropped. That's not the same as being cleared. That's not the same as being cleared. But you're right. It doesn't guarantee that he would have gotten a job. You're absolutely correct. It does not guarantee that his job would have been that he would have gotten any work behind that. Now that you're right about. I agree with that. But what Kevin Hart said was not the same as saying somebody was found not guilty is not the same as saying that all the charges were dropped and he was found that he didn't have, that there was no wrongdoing. That's two different things. Because saying I was found not guilty alludes to the fact that there was a trial and the jury just felt like there wasn't enough evidence. But that's not what happened. There was never a trial. They just dropped the charges. Yeah, Liberia Rose. Liberia Rose said Kevin recorded it secretly and put it out. I do remember that's what I believe that's part of what the assistant said in her interview with Tasha K, that Kevin Hart put that tape out himself. Or that not he put it out himself, but he recorded the tape himself. It was something that Kevin Hart did it. I don't remember all the details, and I was like, I don't have time to go back and watch the whole Tasha K interview. But it was something alluding to the fact that Kevin Hart actually had something to do with that tape getting out himself. And he knew it, but he was trying to throw the blame. That is my understanding. And again, I don't remember all of the details, but I'm sure that'll be reviewed when Pam goes over the lawsuit. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come and give y'all that breakdown and let y'all know what's going on. It sounds to me, again, I can't speak to everything, but it sounds to me like JT Jackson may have somewhat of a case, especially if there's a signed contract and that, you know, regardless of whether it would have got that man a job back or not. If that's what Kevin Hart agreed to do, that's what Kevin Hart agreed to do. You know what I mean? So the man is in need of money, so he is suing Kevin now. If he was in such an issue, why didn't the guy sue? He did. That's what powerful. They negotiated this agreement. Kevin Hart violated the agreement. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this to you guys. I understand what you're saying, Paul. You said, why didn't he sue then? But they just negotiated this. First of all, the man was arrested in 2018. He had to go through the legal process and the charges eventually being dropped. He then sued. Well, he reached out to, he went through the legal process, letting Kevin Hart know, I'm going to sue you if you don't do X, Y. If you don't clear my name, I'm going to sue you. They agreed to this. They negotiated this contract. They agreed to this contract. That was in 2021. Kevin Hart he violated the contract, and now he has gone back to sue him. I want y'all to understand that these things don't happen overnight. First of all, and I'm telling y'all something that I have privy to, that, you know, I'm privy to some information. I'm trying to talk around stuff that I'm not supposed to be saying. But I will say this. Do you know how hard it is to get a reputable lawyer against somebody like a Kevin Hart? I'm going to let you guys know that JT Jackson ain't just been sitting on his hands twiddling, you know, sitting on his hands, you know, waiting for something to fall out the sky. I'm just going to say that. It has not been an easy process for him to go against a juggernaut like, you know, a Kevin Hart. It was the same thing with, you know, Diddy and Cassie. If Cassie hadn't had the evidence that she had, do you know how hard it would have been for her to get a reputable lawyer to take that case? That's why we know that Cassie has some serious evidence. That is how we know that Cassie has some serious evidence, because that attorney she has is a juggernaut. He is not no bullshitter. Okay, he's the real deal. So JT Jackson has not been sitting on his thumbs. He's been trying to handle this, and he's been going through the process. It has not been easy. He had to deal with the legal issues first. He had to deal with the legal issues first and get all of the legal stuff taken care of before he could deal with this Kevin Hart situation. And then Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart, regardless of whether people like him or not. Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart. So yeah. And they usually drop charges for lack of evidence. Yeah. Can you imagine Kevin Hart has enough money to bankrupt JT? People can afford long. Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's what it. And look, ask Nene Leakes. That's what Nene's dealing with right now with Bravo. Ask Nene Leakes what that's like trying to go against a corporation. And Kevin Hart is a corporation. Kevin Hart is a corporation. When you look at what Kevin Hart has, you know what I mean? Kevin Hart is a corporation. So I know you do powerful. I'm just want to put that out there. So yeah, ask Nene Leakes, because that's what Bravo is doing to her. They just slow walking her ass. Regardless of whether Nene's right or wrong, they just slow walking her. She'll run out of money before they will. So yeah. I'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, I will put it on my community wall. I have not talked to. I know Pam made it home safely. She didn't get home until the middle of the night, child, because she was going to go live last night with the lawsuit, but she got held up. Her flight was delayed in New York, getting out of New York. So she'll probably go live later on today. And like I said, I'll put it on my community wall so you guys can get the more legal breakdown of it, because again, she's going to break down the actual legal case, and she may have some further insight that she can share with us. But I just wanted to give y'all a quick little 1-2. Girl, you calling Nene name and Jonathan. Right, Jonathan about to fall out the ceiling, honey. But with that being said, I'm about to get out of here. Y'all know I have a workshop. Today's the last day. Hallelujah. I got this workshop at noon. I did get you guys a couple of reviews yesterday. I'm gonna try to get Dubai done today. And we're gonna get caught up. We getting there slowly but surely. Yeah, she's going live. I'm sure she's gonna go live at some point this evening. I just don't know the time. But I'll put it on my community wall. If you're not already subscribed to Pam, first of all, you should be. But if you're not, I'll put it on my community wall, and then you can subscribe. Yes. Well, you know what, Tracy? I know that you have to pay for them. So that's why I was like, don't worry about it. Am I on what panel today, Ray V? What panel? The answer is probably no, because I'm not planning on doing a panel today. So unless it's a panel I don't know about. Maybe it's a panel I don't know about. What panel am I doing today? Tell me. Is it Chasing Dallas? Because I got to finish watching it, child. Pam live now? All right, y'all. Hold on. We about to head over to Pam's house right now. She's going live okay, we about to head over to Pam's house right now. Y'all head on over there. I'm gonna send us over there. If you want to just get sent over there, you hold tight. I'm gonna send us over there. You hold tight. We about to redirect ourselves right on over to Pam's house, honey. Shoot. We've been waiting for this. Here it is right there. All right, y'all. We about to head over to Pam's house. Y'all hold tight. And we about to go right on over to Pam's house. I just saw it. Hold on. Here we go. All right. We about to head over to Pam's house now. Meet me there. Peace. Mwah.